Hey guys, Blue25
and Retro9234
with episode 116 of Ranger Review. Today we have the Power Rangers RPM Cell Shift Morpher and the Rev Morpher, aka the Go phone and the shift changer from engines inside go-ongers. Alright, so now we have the Go phone. Now, it's a really nice phone thing, but it's more like a different kind of phone now. Instead of the usual phones that we used to have that were smaller, it's actually a bit wider now. Now, the buttons sadly are not.
They're non-functional. Just like the wing trigger we talked about in the previous RPM review, all the electronics come from the engine cells and not actually the changers themselves.
Now the Go phone includes the one engine cell. Now to open it, you just gotta press the button on the side. To do a morph, press the engine cell. All the engine cells, when you put it in, they'll make that sound. Close it, and then press it up.
That's for the henshin sound effect.
That's when they morph. The engine cells, if you notice, they also have two sides. The two on the one left and on the one right.
These control other sound effects.
So you know what to do, you just press this.
And if you hold down the button, it'll do the calling noise. The other sound effect actually triggers Speedor, YRV, and bus on.
That's bus on. That's
and
YRV.
When you hold them down, they will speak.
You can actually put in all different engine souls in them because
they're all the same. They actually have the same sound effects. You can change it with the wing triggers, engine soul, and do the exact same transformation with the same button. And so forth. The engine cells do run off 3 button batteries inside, so over time it's a pain in the butt to actually get them replaced.
Now the Go phone, just like the previous Sentai series, they always have a holder. Like the go-onger, the Acceler had the pouch. The Go phone also had a pouch too. The Go phone you can't really put it anywhere, and you know, and you actually can put, just like what Saki did in go-onger, you can see that she had a little keychain on it. You can actually do it because there's a hole in it.
There's an accessory hole in the back of the Go phone where you can actually attach like any kind of doodad you want. Similar to how the Maji phones did the exact same thing.
There's a glitch with all the engine souls when you put them in.
Sometimes the buttons will keep triggering themselves over and over again, and especially when like you're pushing the buttons in, sometimes they'll re-trigger themselves as well.
The engine souls are pretty nice. They're really nicely detailed. Of course, they all had their own sticker. Now, of course, the blue one is for the main 3. Alright, so now we have the other 2 go-ongers. Now their engine soul is green instead of being blue. So this time they actually have a strap. Now this is actually one of the interesting ones. This is a double strap instead of a single one.
Yeah, it's like the very first time we ever got a big strap.
So now when you wear it, this is how it looks like. It is actually a pretty decent size, even for an adult. And also the shift changer, you can actually take it off. What you do is that you press the button and it comes off.
It's easier to, like, if you want to put the strap on, it's easier to take it off first and put the actual changing device
But if
on.
you don't want to, you can just always just slide it back in. So to activate the sound, what you gotta do is now you just press this up and it opens up.
Top.
You press the engine soul in. So to activate the sound effect for the tension, you just press it up.
Each changing sound effect from all the devices have different sound effects.
So this is the calling.
It only does that one sound effect.
This side you do the noise for the others.
That's for Carrigator, Gumpardo, and Barca.
Overall, it's pretty nice. I like the size that it's actually an adult size, so you can actually fit it, and I like the strap. It's really nice to see this kind of strap now.
Now the shift changer is actually based off like a gas pump meter. Where you actually pull the lever in order to start pumping things based off that, while the GoPhone is based off the cell phone.
Just like others, you can actually put the other cells in.
They will function in the exact same way.
Now, back during the go-onger days, they always had special engine souls, whatnot.
Like the bumper special soul.
Or the go-onger GT special one, where it came in a 2-pack and whatnot. There's also a special one, which is the Christmas soul, which is mainly much just the Speedor soul, and all it is just it has a Christmas snowflakes on it.
It basically came in Japan with a special Christmas cake during Christmas time, but it's very difficult to find. Unfortunately, this engine soul is slightly different to the normal engine souls. For example, if you look at the bottom, this one only has 1 button, while the other ones normally have 3. And unfortunately, this one also has a lower quality speaker. If you press the one on the normal engine soul, it's louder. But if you press the one on here, it's lower. And another problem with this one is that the battery compartment, in order to remove the batteries, you have to take the entire back off, while the other engine souls have actually a normal battery compartment, you just have to unscrew and take them out. This does function in all the changing devices. It works in the GoPhone, it works in the shift changer, the wing trigger, the OR. They all function the exact same way. It just has less sound effects.
So now, alteration wise, first we'll start with the GoPhone. Now the GoPhone was almost the same exact size in our American version.
It's very similar.
While the engine souls in the Japanese version made the noise, the Morpher in the American version wasn't making noise.
But they didn't have all the sound effects.
The cells were, of course, very, very thin. They were not this big and did not do anything really. This was kept the same, but they just took out the Japanese writing. The back was not painted. They took out the little chrome. They took out this little paint area where
the speaker holes were also removed, because again, the souls don't have the sound effects from that. This was flattened down because the cells are much thinner. And the extra gripping areas have this red paint area. We removed that as well.
Now, for the engine cells in the American version, they came with the change cell, BRV, and bus ons, while the Japanese one only came with this. In order to get Speedor, you have to buy Engino. To get you have to buy the Manton gun and the highway blaster to get BRV and bus ons real soul. Another change was that they took out the change symbol on this, the ES and the
basically all the writing.
All the writing is on. It's just a clear G on it, and of course smaller, and it was a sticker.
Black.
It was black, of course.
I find it kind of confusing though as why they removed the word engine. So I understand we say engine cell for RPM, but they could have simply changed soul to cell and it would have been perfectly fine. The cell window was removed. The phone side paint was missing. The cell light window was filled in, and the knick-knack clip was replaced with the battery cover.
So now for the Shift Morpher, the change was mainly much the chrome. We took this out, we replaced it with a black strap instead of being Velcro.
Very similar to like the Gecko changers, how they made that special rubber strap, similar to that.
We don't even have the little
light hole
anymore. The cell that was included in the shift changer was the morphing one and the barker. Sound effects were in the Morpher instead of being on the cell.
The window was also removed on the Rev Morpher, and the red paint band is missing on the Rev handle.
Overall, the changes are really nice. Now, the only bad part I don't like about the Japanese one is that they didn't have any button to turn on and off, so you're wasting the energy even when you're just sitting here right now. And the sad part is that
they run on 3 button batteries. It's very annoying to replace those.
These things are so plain because they need more. You really need more engine souls to actually have more functionality.
Because if you don't have any engine soul for anything, these are just empty pieces of plastic.
Also, the American and UK boxes are different. The American version, they were just more like a little slant, like a little oval kind of straightened
slim line box,
while the UK version actually had a real box with them. They actually looked nice and they showed you where all the cells were. The American version of the GoPhone, the cell of yellow was actually behind the box. You can't really tell because in the front you only see blue and the chainsaw. You're like, where is yellow? Where would yellow be? And when you literally have to buy it, open it, and be like, oh, yellow's in there. It's a half and half situation. The Japanese one almost show accurate. They have the paint, they have the chrome, they have a nice little detail on it. Only bad part is they relied on the engine souls. The American versions, they are pretty decent. They're not that bad. But yeah, that's it for our review of the Power Rangers RPM Morphers. Join us next week for the Power Rangers Lost Skies to the Transdagger. When it comes to subscribe, we'll see you next week.
See, sometimes it doesn't trigger.
Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so let's try that and see what it does.
Keep trying until it works.
It's weird.
Wow, seriously? Wait, pop it out. What the hell's going on with this thing? It's working, obviously. It's just not reaching contact. Yeah. Okay, just ignore it. Just go.
What the hell?
Sometimes it glitches. Just keep trying. It'll eventually work. Now, just like the Go phone and the Wing Trigger, they still have the exact same glitchy problem with the engine souls not working right, where it either depresses the sound effect correctly or it doesn't depress them right. But for the shift changer, you can actually fix it a little bit. There's actually a little bit of depression device they have over here that actually force it down. If you unscrew it and loosen it enough, you can actually push down the engine soul a little bit more tighter so that it won't cause the glitch with the sound effect. But it only can be done with the shift changer.